Snarky from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. We are going to do a fun stream today because this one we have been so stuck in so much heavy stuff, and I just saw this on Instagram and I was like, we have got to talk about this because I cannot stand how cute this was and I cannot stand how much growth I am seeing in Jill Dillard, and you guys have been asking for something positive, so here is your positive tea. Earlier today, Jill Dillard and Derick Dillard were on Instagram and they were having a debate about cousins. And during this debate, they started talking about whether or not you would refer to someone as a cousin who is a first cousin, or do you mean a second cousin? And if you're talking about a second cousin, would you have to refer to them as a first or a second cousin? During the exchange, Jill was flat out owning him. She was being frisky, she was being sassy, she was being assertive. And when we think about Jill and how far she's come, I was stunned to see this. First off, we met Jill when she was a kid on Counting On, or 19 kids and counting, right? She is the fourth kid, the fourth child of the Duggar family. She is 29 years old. She is married to Derick. She is the only one to sort of have left this whole world. She and Derick are enrolling their son in public school. She wears pants. She has her nose pierced. She has really separated herself. They left the show in 2017. She is, wearing tank tops. She is doing her own promos on her Instagram. She even posted that photo a few months ago, or about a month ago, where she said she was no longer going to be afraid of her past. And then on Father's Day, she posts this photo about, how Father's Day can be really difficult for some people, which sort of highlighted some of the issues that she may have had with her father, Jim Bob. And it's interesting because, we've been talking a lot over the last several months about Jill finding her voice, right? We were like, oh yes, Jill really spoke up when she shared that thing about not being a slave to her fear. And then she's now in an interaction with Derick, actually showing and holding her own. And why does this matter? It matters so much because the way that she was taught and the way that she was sort of trained in her brain was that women are supposed to have this very joyfully available role in their relationships with their husbands. They're supposed to be very agreeable, and they're supposed to just be at the service of their husband. Some of the things that the Duggars talk about a lot, if you go into their blogs, is they talk about how, a woman is supposed to be there for their husband and allow their husband space, and they're supposed to not have entitlement, so they're not supposed to expect things from their husbands. They are supposed to be in charge of the home, have as many kids as possible. They are supposed to keep a positive and sweet attitude. And when you see Michelle, her mother, you can see how Michelle is very in that mindset, right? Where she is flat out I am a robot, you know what I mean? And you're oh, this is so sweet, that you don't normally see personality. Even when you're listening to, say, Ginger, her sister has a new podcast, which I have found very dull, and it's just maybe Jeremy sort of talking about whatever's going on in his life, and Ginger eating it up and lapping it up, you know what I mean? And then you have Jill and Derick, and a lot of people don't like Derick. I get it. He's made some comments that are terrible, but to see the growth in Jill in this clip is amazing. So I'll play it for you now.
We're having the cousin discussion here.
Is it on slow-mo?
No, it's on legit video here.
Oh, I thought we were doing slow-mo. Okay, so.
Make it quick.
Really quickly, Jill didn't.
30 seconds.
Real quickly, 30 seconds. Okay, so I have 30 seconds to say
you
this.
have 15 seconds.
I have 15 seconds to say this. So.
Go.
Okay, so just
Nine,
in the next
7.
15 seconds, I'm going to tell you that that a cousin. Yeah, so I've got 15 seconds.
No, you have 0.
All right.
Bye. I was Derick Pro Se.
That was
okay.
No, I don't want to be offensive to people, but that's basically what happens with pro se litigants. You should get an attorney.
Don't be pro se. Okay, here, go.
Start over. Here
you go.
Okay, so the real issue is when someone refers to someone as their cousin, are they more likely talking about someone who is their first cousin or their second
No.
cousin? And if so, if they
People
are the
always
second
talk about
cousin,
their first cousin.
should they refer to them as their second cousin so as not to confuse them as someone they're thinking as their first cousin?
I say no.
I say yes, but I think it's just...
If you're actually having a discussion about genealogy, then
I think
and
it's
stuff
just-
like that, yeah, you want to clarify.
Difference of culture, difference of family culture.
So did you see in that clip how she's just like, you've got 10 seconds, you've got 15 seconds, ugh, you're done. Oh, this is what it's like if you're pro se. Like, she's being sarcastic. She's being silly. She's being assertive. She's even like voicing her opinions. So she's having a disagreement with him. She's even like not agreeing with him like on how they think about cousins. And she has no problem asserting her position, which you don't see that with her mom. When her mom talks with Jim, you always see with her mom, when her mom's doing her like different like speaking engagements or when they're doing their interviews, Michelle is like always looking to Jim Bob. She's constantly looking for that recognition, for that, like, I'm looking to you, Jim, for your approval. I want to make sure that I'm not saying something. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. And in this case, like, Jill was not afraid. She was like holistically, like, completely who she is. She was not worried of what Derick said. She was not worried about appearing bossy or having a voice or being assertive. It was refreshing. And yesterday, she has the thing with her mother's, with the stuff related to Father's Day, and she actually wishes her father a happy Father's Day, but then she didn't wish her mom a happy Mother's Day. And now I'm starting to see this like very stark contrast between her mom and Jill. So is this division not just with Jim Bob, but also with Michelle? Because Derick has written blogs about how a good woman doesn't have to have long hair, a good woman doesn't have to wear like dresses, a good woman doesn't have to be subservient, a good woman doesn't have to just stay at home, they can work. And Derick has said repeatedly that Jill can work if she wants to have a job. And let's be frank, she's working on social media and she makes money through promotions and through, I'm sure her Instagram is monetized with over 1 million people following her, and they have a YouTube and they have a blog. So she has a job per se, not traditional, but still a job. So, you know, when you think about the dynamics here, we've focused so much on Derick being like, okay, there's this issue with Jim Bob, but I really think there's an issue with Michelle. And I feel like the fact that she has become the anti-Michelle, where she is showing her own and she is not afraid to speak her opinions, which is so refreshing to see. When I've listened to Ginger and Jeremy in their podcast, Ginger defers, much like her mother, to Jeremy. Ginger's constantly looking for the affirmation and the acceptance, and that, Jeremy, you're the one that has the right answers. Jeremy, you're the one that can tell me how to do things. And with Jill, it was very clear that, like, there's more back and forth. This is more of an equal footing relationship, which is similar to how, when I spoke to Derick, kind of how he described their relationship, where, you know, they're supportive of each other, but, you know, Jill has her own voice. Jill has her own choice. Jill has the right to do and be whoever she wants to be, and he's supportive of her. She's in therapy. And I feel like, you know, when we think about when they first got married 6 years ago and that first season of Counting On, just how docile she was and how quiet she was and how meek she was. And then you see Jill today and it's like complete night and day. And I just wanted to like come on here and be like, way to not be joyfully available. Way to be not joyfully available. I am so proud of the way that Jill has like come into her own, become her own person, is finding her own voice. It's not gonna, every day, it's a process. Every day as she deprograms, every day as she learns how to be herself. It's like you're seeing this new side of her. And it's like, there's this hope that the other girls can get out. And I know we spend so much time talking about the Duggars, but they are this humongously big family that has such a ginormous platform that I feel like if we ignore the harm that's going on in this family, but if we focus so much on the harm that's done in this family and we don't celebrate the success when we see it, and we see someone actually leaving, getting the help that they need, and actually like taking the steps to have a more healthy and productive life, you have to You have to speak out and say, this is amazing. Now, I am so excited to hear that they're going to be writing a book. I will so be buying that book because I want to hear so much from Jill's point of view, what it was like to grow up in that home. I want to know so much the truth behind all of this. And I feel like we're going to just keep digging and digging and digging until we finally find what happened, how this occurred, and like why they're still hiding. You know what I mean? Like, Jill is not allowed there for a reason because she's going to influence her siblings. And if this video proves to you anything, it proves that if Jill were with her siblings, she would be showing them how to be assertive, how to be confident, how to be sarcastic, how to be funny, how to have a personality. People I've talked to from the IBLP often tell me that the kids that are raised in this cult are robotic. They're taught obedience. They're taught to just follow whatever mom and dad says and to not even second guess or even question. And to see her questioning is such proof that she's healing and that she's going to continue to just be who she's supposed to be. So now we just have to free Jana and hopefully get some of these younger kids out and hope that with the win with Jill, that we can see wins with the other kids. But tell me your thoughts. Are you excited to see Jill acting this way? Were you surprised? I want to hear what you're thinking. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more. Bye.